This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer.
A radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside.
Er klingt überrascht und ein wenig vorsichtig.
But we are looking for a fridge, and we are pressed for time, so...
On the other hand, it's not that I'm not interested in abandoned radio computers. This is the Ream Civic radio computer, model RC5120, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible printer.
Was meinen Sie? Soll ich ihn einschalten?
Maybe the body has stopped decomposing somehow. I don't know. You're in charge of this expedition, officer.
Okay.
Is the lieutenant a little scared? Just now when he looked around.
Ich schalte das Gerät ein.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open.
Ich werfe einen Blick in das Fach.
It's empty, like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left dangling, disconnected.
This is where the memory should go.
Kein Speicher drin. Wenn ich auf Print drücke,
Nothing happens.
auf Play.
Nothing happens. Something's missing. There's no tape in the player.
Na gut. Okay, geht's hier überall noch irgendwo lang. Das ist ganz schön crazy. Blauer Samt, weich und anschmiegsam, Motten zerfressen. Was haben wir hier drin? Oh, ich liebe es, Geld zu finden. Ein kleiner Raum. Stählerne Rotorblätter mit Slipstream-Logo. Was ist das denn? Oh, der Speicher für das Ding. Interessant. Ein Paschier. Auf der laminierten Oberfläche ist der Aufdruck Slipstream zu lesen. Das ist die Marke. Die Firma, die hier zuvor ihren Sitz hatte, oder was? Okay, ich habe den Speicher gefunden. Ich frage mich echt, ob das irgendwas bringt.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard.
Ich lege den Produktionsplan ein.
Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking.
Drück mal auf Play.
A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. Oh no. It was already glowing and now it's also making a sound. It's probably some alien CO-like technology. The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall, until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Rapid Station 1.
Okay.
Please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
Was ist der Produktionsplan?
The filament you have inserted into the reader.
Ach so, danke für die Erklärung.
That was a question. Have you inserted it into the core?
Ja.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Gott.
You should ask her for a hint.
Ein Passwort. Ich kann mir Passwörter nie merken. Könnten Sie mir einen Hinweis geben?
No.
Ich kenne das Passwort nicht.
Received. I will register this login attempt.
That sounds bad. A login attempt. Something a criminal would do. Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later.
Okay.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Sind Sie eine Maschine oder sind Sie lebendig?
Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name is Yvonne.
Yvonne.
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
Ah. Schön, aber wo sind Sie? Woher wussten Sie, wo ich bin?
I work as a repeater at the East Insulindian repeater station. It's my job to know where you are, Fortress Accident. As for me, well, I am sitting in my cubicle, surrounded by a wall of radios.
On an island on the river Esperance, a small woman, all skin and bones, sits in a room filled with audio equipment. Thousands of tiny lights are reflected back from her prescription lenses, like stars in the dark. Doesn't it get lonely, sitting there all by herself?
Fühlt man sich bei Ihrer Arbeit nicht ein wenig einsam?
Lonely? Why would it get lonely? I get to talk to people all day.
That's why she does this.
Now, please tell me if there's anything else I can do, Fortress Accident.
Warum haben Sie mich Fortress Accident genannt?
Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are currently using has been registered to.
Haben Sie noch andere Informationen über dieses Unternehmen?
One moment.
Du hörst, wie sie durch einen Katalog blättert, bevor sie gewissenhaft vorliest.
Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games.
Ah,
That's what the catalog says.
und was ist dieses interaktive Anruf-Funkspiel genau?
Any other questions?
Okay. Vorerst alles. Oder wir haben noch kein Passwort, oder?
Good. Please repeat the password. Received Fortress Accident. Thank you and goodbye.
Mit dem Rauschen verschwindet auch die Stimme der alten Dame.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard.
Was passiert, wenn ich auf Print drücke?
Nothing happens.
Okay. Interessant. Wir sollten uns auf jeden Fall merken, dass das Ding da drin 50 Real wert ist.
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes, like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board.
Ich sehe mir die Zeichnungen an.
These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins, casting wax-based magic.
Cool.
Translucent welkins, with organs shining under their skin. And even ether welkins, hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. Who are all those creatures? Fantasies of a tortured, feverish mind? One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however.
Den Welkin untersuchen.
It's Vara Hamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-welkin races will be purged.
Oh,
The Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with welkin, green welkin, dread welkin, and the high welkin to rule them all.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little welkin creatures.
Ich flüstere, einer dieser Welkins glaubt an die Überlegenheit seines Volkes.
Political commentary. That one has a great beard, too.
Mit einem Nicken deutet der Lieutenant auf die Gesichtsbehaarung des Welkins. Warum sollte jemand so viel Zeit in so etwas investieren?
Some people really like building a world, I think. Even if it's just for a game.
Was sind das für Wesen? Wer hat sie gezeichnet? Gibt es sie wirklich? Ich habe so viele Fragen.
This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real.
Okay, das war lehrreich. Lassen wir die Welkins hinter uns.
Just look at those details. So much effort.
Ja,
And for what? All gone.
sehen wir die Fotos an.
The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried-up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much-needed respite from our own world. A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario. A desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe."
Sehen wir den Plan an.
This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money. It looks a bit like an academic calendar, only much more brutal.
Lese weiter. Was ist passiert?
As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
Okay.
Looks like they didn't make it.
Der Lieutenant sieht sich das kalte Eisfeld des Nichts an.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details."
Ja, uns fehlt aber das Passwort. Ich sehe mir die Notizen an.
The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: "Call in, tune out," "Wirral untethered," and "Heat death of the universe."
Vielleicht davon was das Passwort?
The full text reads, "Heat death of the universe is the new black." Another note says, "The biggest advancement in role-playing systems since the 30s." Outside, a cold wind wraps the building in its bosom. Snowflakes in the wind. An old woman passes what the locals call the doomed commercial area. She tries hard not to look at the bookstore windows. It's unwise.
Okay.
This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient. A diagram for summoning some time-forgotten being. The symbols seem very esoteric.
Was soll denn das darstellen?
Radio frequencies, it seems.
Oh,
UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 123.9. Some written notes, too. Sparse and cryptic.
Funkfrequenzen wofür?
Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced.
Also haben wir es hier mit etwas Medizinischem zu tun?
You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled The Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants.
Okay.
Looks like a surveillance program. They must have had massive airwidth. These things don't come cheap.
Moment, wer ist der Spielleiter?
Someone very important. The leader of a massive on-air game built by these people.
Wenn es ein Spiel ist, wer spielt es dann?
Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like.
Ah, okay. Also auch wir
A
dann.
list of names under the stations suggests people across 6 Isolas would be playing Muindi, Insulinda, Kotla, Grad, Samara, and even Ilmara. All of this is gone, left unrealized.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became.
Allein die Ätherbreite muss immense Kosten verursacht haben.
Exactly. This schedule, I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
Und sonst?
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages.
Also kein Passwort? Ach ja, Kim, was ist jetzt? Kim, was ist?
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard and fireplace?
Sieht wie ein Programm zur verdeckten Spionageabwehr aus.
No, that's not it. I think...
Ja, ein Spiel, denkst du.
Like he's ready to lay out a fine theory, crafted together like a puzzle box.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to automate it. Make it work on radio computers.
Ja, irgendwie cool.
Utter madness, he thinks, as a compliment.
Wie hatten Sie sich das nur vorgestellt?
Through call-in stations. None of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game, as long as they have a two-way radio. Then there's the game master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts.
Ja, obwohl, so kann man ja Pen and Paper inzwischen auch spielen, ne?
His fascination has swept aside other concerns for the moment. He's a little hooked.
Bin auch angefixt.
Coordinating so many games would take a whole switchboard of people, possibly divided into sub-frequencies.
Hat das schon jemals jemand versucht?
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Grad, Messina, Königstein. You know, places with industry. But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an inter-isolary game before. We just don't have the technology.
Und das hier soll ein Rollenspiel gewesen sein?
Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WeWorld board game, with hit death thrown in.
Ich find's auch cool. Was ist Ihrer Meinung nach aus der Firma geworden?
No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard.
Meine Herren, ich schließe das Thema ab.
Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but...
Der Lieutenant legt den Kopf zur Seite und denkt nach. Die Welt ist kalt und einsam. Das hier würde ihre Gesellschaft das hier würde ihre Gesellschaft leisten. Die Frau am Funk wahrscheinlich. Lassen Sie es uns fertigstellen.
It's too late for that, I'm afraid.
Sagt er, während er sich in dem verlassenen Raum umsieht. Aus den Rohren pfeift es, eine Ratte huscht über den Boden.
Okay, let's keep moving.
Ja. Aber es gibt immer Erfahrungspunkte. War da nicht gerade noch was? Doch. War noch was. Jemand hat Entwickler des fortschrittlichsten Rollenspiels im Universum quer bei ein Notizbuch gekritzelt. Okay. Da war jetzt kein Passwort dabei, oder? Wahrscheinlich.
Tiles on the cube are still smoke. The speaker comes to life.
Good afternoon. Please repeat. Is this good? Please repeat the password.
Nee.
Received Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can thank you?
Tiles on the cube are still.
Das werde ich wohl noch nicht kriegen, das Passwort. Schauen wir hier noch einmal rein. Da geht's weiter hoch. Okay. Ja, um Gottes Willen, wie groß ist denn das hier alles? Wie die hinknarren. Ich will nur einmal gucken. Was ist das? Postkarte. Gut. Schuhe in einer Pfütze aus schmelzendem Schnee. Heißt es, da war jemand? Hier war jemand drin, oder? Hier war jemand drin, der vielleicht auch das Funksystem nutzt.
An iron safety curtain curves before your eyes, folded like a bellows. It covers half the room, blocking the way into a colossal industrial chimney.
Ich klopfe dagegen.
What an odd thing to do. Nothing happens.
Ich klopfe fester dagegen.
Still nothing. No one's home.
Ich klopfe noch fester dagegen.
Those curtains prove to be surprisingly sturdy. Your fist hurts now.
Einfach nur dumm.
Can you please try to refrain from attacking random things?
Das ist nicht willkürlich, sondern von Bedeutung. Ich will wissen, was auf der anderen Seite ist.
Why do you think there's something on the other side, necessarily?
Ich weiß auch nicht. Ich kann einen Funken Neugier in seinen Augen
In any
sehen.
case, there's no way we can get in right now.
Ja.
Let's investigate further.
Na gut, schade. Was?
Bent metal. Broken glass. Your path lies strewn with the broken forms of everyday objects. You are the destroyer, the bane of inanimate matter.
Erblicke mich, Zeug, und verzweifle.
Kudos.
Anti-Objekt-Einsatzkommando. -2 Schmerzgrenze. Schau dir deine Hände an. Siehst du, wie viele blaue Flecken du hast? Siehst du die kleinen Narben? Das ist Beweisstück A. Die materielle Welt hält dich zurück. Behälter, Briefkästen, Türen, Stühle. Sie alle sind deine Feinde. Schon immer. Sogar die Atome sind Teil der Verschwörung, weil sie Formen und Strukturen ergeben, die du hast. Du bist Energie, die in einem Körper feststeckt. Du bist ein Geist, der in Materie gefangen ist. Befreie dich, verprügle die Straßenlaterne. Lass sie wissen, wie ätzend du Objekte findest. Okay. Schauen wir mal. Wenn man das anhält, ist das dann... Ah, keine Ahnung. Kugel. So. Ich würde sagen, an dieser Stelle beenden wir die Aufnahme für heute. Und beim nächsten Mal kommen wir dann hoffentlich in den Keller mit einem Eisbergkühlschrank. Ja. Und vielleicht finden wir noch ein paar interessante Sachen. Ich bedanke mich herzlich fürs Zuschauen und macht's gut. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao.